Right, I'm back down at Tip Top Engineering once again for part 3 of GP2 Restoration. So a few little bits have gone on in the last week. Obviously there's other things to do in the garage, but I've just been doing a bit of cleaning on the brake parts. So on the cylinder head last week, finished doing a bit more on that. So James has been busy taking bits off a bit more. So the front brakes have been removed and a little bit of cleaning up done.
Yeah, they were originally painted, these brake back plates, and I think I prefer them in bare aluminium.
Yeah, definitely.
And the steering arms as well, prefer all these steering arms and suspension parts, prefer these in bare steel as well, so we can watch the cracks grow, or hopefully not as necessary.
As the case may be.
As the case may be. Bit of crack testing to do as well, so the paint's got to come off for crack testing anyway, and checking these ball joints and whatnot. And then the brake drums themselves were painted as well, but they're magnesium, so they'll be far better breathing in their natural unpainted condition.
Yeah, so I've been cleaning one of them. James did one, I've done one this afternoon, so that's another step forward. So yeah, so all these little bits help. Right, so tell us what you plan to do on the gearbox part of it.
So this car originally did have, for the first year of its existence, a drop down prop shaft. So there was a gearbox with a pair of gears in grafted to this front end that dropped it down. It ran underneath this cross member and it dropped down from the bell housing at this end. So there's a dent in the underside of this original member which tells us where it came, left to right wise. So I've made these drop down plates at 4.5 inch centres. We've had to tip it over 5 degrees as well to get to the centre of the dent, which is interesting.
Yeah.
The gearbox is offset, the engine's offset by very slightly different amounts. And the idea is to run the drop down prop so we can run the drop down bodywork as well, so it'll look low and sexy and slammed, as we say in these days, don't we?
Yeah, yeah.
So it looks cool, but it was like that in its first year of existence, so we feel it's a legitimate thing to do.
Yeah, and why not?
This cross member would have been put in the year after it was made, and this one here, and we'll end up putting original member back in the original position, I should say, down here. So it's a case of designing and making those housings. So we've got to leave the gearbox in place so that we can do that, and likewise at the bell housing end.
Yeah.
Before we can take the gearbox and engine out. So that's why really I started on the brakes at the front end.
Yeah.
Get the drums cleaned up and whatnot. And then when these housings have underway been manufactured, probably castings made and whatnot, we'll then rebuild the gearbox.
So it's all to come. Anyway, that's this week's report, and we'll see what happens by next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.